Etepu, Assalamu alaikum, Namaste, Harun Nefer. This is Kasank Ma Keparu with another video for you. In this video, I want to talk to you about an article I found on empaths. But before I do that, please hit the like button. And if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Subscribe to my channel to get more videos of this nature. And also, don't forget to consider becoming a Patreon supporter. You can do so for as little as $1 or $5 per month. Now, I myself am an empath. I've always been that way. And it's given me a lot of information and insight into how people act, what people say, and their actions. So meaning that an empath could really penetrate to the depths of your soul. And an empath is also a great lie detector. But it's also has burdened me because I can feel what other people feel. And I can't turn that off. And that's very common among empaths. Well, this article here, which states empath, the greatest weapon, seeing through your lies, deals with empaths as a lie detector. And I found this on consciousreminder.com. So let's go into this. So it says, in general, people find it really difficult when it comes to living in a world which is overflowing with negative things. However, empaths are nowhere near to being average Joes, and you wouldn't believe it, but where other people see negatives, empaths often see opportunities. Empaths live every moment of their lives thinking about the things they may do in order to make the world a much better place for living, not just for them, their own selves, but for the rest of us too. In the eyes of the empaths, there is no irredeemable person. Love is the greatest weapon of these people, and they genuinely believe that they may utilize it to change even those hearts which have hardened the most. And this is a very true statement because as an empath, it took me a long time in my development to realize that there are just some people who are beyond help. They're irredeemable. And empaths often look at things too subjectively and don't realize that there are just some evil people in the world. So we'll talk about that. When empaths find out that someone erred in one way or another, they are going to try and come up with a justification for it, even when they don't do that themselves. I see a lot of Libras do that. So if you're a Libra tends to want to see both sides of an argument. It's very interesting. They even believe that every single person may be turned around if another person reaches out in order to help. However, this can be harder for empaths than it really looks. Although a lot of people exist in the world and they truly deserve help, there are others who are evil and they just feel good. They just feel good if they cause pain to someone else. Such people will even hurt themselves when they believe that they may blame someone else. They carefully calculate every word which they speak in order to hit others where it will hurt them most. They even believe that empaths ask for punishment as they do not understand why they spend time with evil people. This is not as they are pushovers or doormats. The truth actually is that an empath is a deeply caring individual, and even when he or she is sometimes utilized for the gain of others, they are still going to give their best in order to help every time they can. Now we go to the gifts of empaths. Empaths who are highly sensitive and intuitive are also gifted with extraordinary abilities. Empaths are like lie detectors, as they are able to see through the external facade of a person. If you think that you manage to lie to an empath, you are entirely deluded, and this is so true. An empath usually stays with a toxic person as of his or her beliefs that no one is gone too far in order to be brought back to like. An empath is a kind and compassionate individual, and he or she wants to teach these same characteristics to other people around him or her. Empaths always look for some ways to actually inspire changes in other people's personalities. And I would add to that also change and inspire the world, actually, not just people. They are aware of the purpose they have in the world, which is to pull other people up regardless of how much those people try to be bad with them and push them down. But this does not mean that empaths are just going to let others hurt them. Empaths also have their own limits. They have boundaries which they will not allow others to cross. Although they can have a saint's patience, there are several things which they will not accept at all. Remember that it will never be good to actually be on the receiving end of an anger of an empath. You cannot hide your thoughts or actions from them. Instead, you should be thankful for those individuals and for all that beauty which they bring to the world. Empaths simply try to help you simply try to help you become a better or the best version of yourself, and listening to their advice will always be worthwhile. You will always have to be conscious of the greatest weapon of empaths, which is detecting lies. And as I was developing as a person, as an empath, I was really good at seeing through people's BS and their lies. And I was also good at feeling and empathizing with other people. But in addition to that, empaths can actually feel the changes in the cycles. They are the ones that can feel it the most, and very early on. And when there's things like a full moon or a blood moon, or when there's an equinox, what have you, empaths feel that right away, depending on how strong of an empath you are. But one of the great things about that is that when you're doing your rituals, if you are a magician, a magi, or a priest or priestess, that emotion that you feel can be used and channeled into your rituals to make them more potent and more powerful. Or you can be at the receiving end when you're setting up a shrine and receive that energy, and that energy can help you, and you can channel that into very good and positive things. So this article is really interesting, but it only just touches on the surface of the power of an empath. And I remember them talking about X-Men. X-Men was really based on the civil rights movement. So as an empath, you're like a mutant. You can feel and see into the deepest recesses of people's souls and figure out if they're lying or not. So that's the end of this video. This is Kisank Ma Keparu, son of Ma and Tahuti. Until my next video, Amen Ra.